Hello? Hello, I'm watching you. I'm watching you now. Just like I watch you when you go to London Stadium. I'm one of them stewards there, sits on the edge of the pitch and watches you watch your team. What are they called again? Hi gang, it's Monday, I'm Mike, welcome to Mike on Monday. The season's over, it's finally over, and on a personal note, can I just say I'm delighted that West Ham have finished above Watford. I live in Hertfordshire, I'm surrounded by Watford fans, some of whom watch this show, so well done for finishing below West Ham Watford. That was a terrific result on your behalf, especially as this is the only week we've been above you all season, and it's the one that counts. Sorry, personal thing in there. Anyway, it has been a very, very busy week at West Ham, so let's see what happened at West Ham this week. Let's go that way. Well, the week started in a weird way. A friend of mine called me, he's a big West Ham fan, and he called me and he was like, I don't understand why people are getting so het up about this whole Moyes thing and the whole West Ham thing, and why are people just get so carried away on it with it, because there's just much bigger things in life. There's much bigger things in life than football. And you know what? He's right. Of course he's right. But he's also very, very wrong. You see, for a lot of people, especially all those people who feel that they've had everything stripped away from them, you know, like identity, prospects, jobs, class, Woolworths, top of the pops. I mean, most of my West Ham fans I know still haven't gotten over the jam splitting up. And to those people, West Ham offer the last vestige of their own real identity. There is their one group that is still there. And that is why West Ham are such an essential part of their life. And that's why football fans in general are very passionate. West Ham fans doubly so. It was a weird conversation to have anyway with someone early in the morning one day. What else happened this week? Yeah, well, most of the week was taken up with talk about Moyes, right? Will he stay? Will he go? What's he having for tea? Has he had a moisturiser? That sort of thing. And a lot of, is he, you know, it's a lot of waffle. But later in this show, you are going to get some actual real insider information about our manager. The week rolled on. Thursday, we had two games this week. Thursday was the first one, home to Manchester United. First of all, huge shout out to Mulder. Mulder is a lovely guy I met on the boat before the game against Manu, and he was on the boats before the game against Everton as well. So Mulder, or Hammer Mulder as he is on the forum, and his mate Craig, and he's asked me to give a big shout out to the Crown and Anchor in Thousand Oaks, Southern California. Apparently there's a whole heap of West Ham fans who get together and watch games over there, and they also watch this show. So well done you guys in the States, Southern California, and for supporting West Ham soccer team. Couldn't resist it. Mulder himself is English, and he's lived there since the 80s and really not picked up the American accent. Anyway, well done to you, mate. Lovely meeting you. Game came round. We worked very, very hard, and not much else happened, in my opinion, but don't take my word for it. Let's visit Mike at the Tactics Centre. Here he is. Mike. Thanks, Mike. West Ham took on Manchester United on Thursday night at the London Stadium. Both teams fielded players. The players ran round for quite a bit, kicked the ball occasionally, and then went home again. The game finished West Ham United 0, Manchester United 0. Now back to Mike in the studio. Thanks, Mike. Great stuff as ever. Sunday came round, last game of the season, and there was a lot of drunk shenanigans going on.
Cheer, 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 we are those bastards in claret and blue.
Yet before and after, it got very messy. A lot of people got extremely drunk. I'm not naming names, but you will know some of them, and trust me, it got, I mean, I was pretty gone, but not as drunk as a lot of other people. Anyway, In the middle of all this drunkenness, a game of football took place. It broke out in front of us, and you know what? I really enjoyed it. It was a really good game. We won 3-1. We actually had a real go at Everton. Everton were terrible. And look, we all know that. Look, we all know this season, if you want to beat West Ham, play with pace. So Sam Allardyce showed his managerial class. Sam Allardyce struck again by leaving Walcott and Balassi on the bench and ending the game twist with that. 2 cracking Lanzini goals and a hilarious goal by Arnautovic. I haven't seen any of it on TV. I was just at the game and saw it, where I can't believe the goalkeeper didn't save it. Maybe I'm wrong. It really looked like, oh dear, let's hope he plays better than that if he plays for England in the World Cup, eh? And it was great though. We had a great time, and it was a good result. And let's face it, folks, Moyes came out of the last 3 games possible 9 points with 7 points, which is a very good return. And it's time now to have a look at our managerial situation, because I have got genuine insider info here. So it's just between us, yeah? Come on, come in closer to the screen. I'm only going to whisper it, so listen up. A decision over Moyes' future and who will be manager at West Ham will be taken within the next 10 to 12 days. You heard it here last. Yeah, that's what the board have been saying all along. And really what I'm getting at here, folks, is it's now off season. It's all over the football season. So what we are now going to have is acres and acres of speculation. Now, some of this can be quite fun. A lot of it is extremely tedious. So I've come up with my top 5 things you will see top 5 things off. And here they are right now. Let's go. First up, we have 5 players West Ham must sell in the summer. Yes, folks, despite the fact we have a wafer-thin squad, it is so thin, our squad, the last thing we need is less players. We need at least 5 more. So if we sold 5, we would now need to buy 10. And we all know how unlikely that is to happen this summer. So you'll get loads of this, like, he must go, he is rubbish, he must go. No, we need players. We don't need to lose them. Next up, it's 5 reasons West Ham must sign Yaya Toure. Yes, well linked with us, folks, because let's face it, he's old, past it, and he might still be a good player, but let's face it, he's old, past it, and on a free. So he's going to West Ham, so that one's going to run until someone does actually sign him. Next up is 5 reasons West Ham must not sign Yaya Toure. Probably written the next day by the exact same bloke who wrote 5 reasons West Ham must sign Yaya Toure, because it is clickbait season and they will do anything to get you to watch this, much like I did with the insider knowledge thing on West Ham's manager, before telling you stuff you already knew so they can sell advertising. But hey, I'm not advertising, so I'm the pure one. Next up, we have 5 sexy sirens of the 60s. Yeah, sorry, wrong show. Next up, we have 5 players West Ham must buy in this transfer window, presumably to replace the 5 that the same person's told us we have to sell. So we still got a wafer-thin squad, I've already said. And then we have 5 armadillos that look like Marko Arnautovic. It's the sound of the bottom of the barrel being scraped, you get what I mean? They will come up with more ridiculous things, such as 5 Americans who could buy West Ham tomorrow. Everyone from Trip Smith to Elvis Presley to Ronald McDonald. Yeah, you all get this is going to run around. I do actually think there is something in this. I do think that we are gradually going to be taken over by American people, and if they're rich and want to make us successful, then huzzah. But it's more than coincidence, isn't it, that Trip Smith bought some money, and now the stadium will be hosting professional rounders next year, or baseball as they call it in America, but we all know it's rounders, don't we? Next one, by the way, I'm fully aware there's more than 5 of these. I said there would be 5 things that you will read, 5 things are, to make it sound good, but I've got loads of them. Next up, we have 5 tattoos Manuel Lanzini must find room for this summer. Yeah, his body's nearly completely covered in tattoos, but surely there's got to be a bit of bum cheek he can fit something in on. Actually, I'm a huge fan of Manuel Lanzini. I think he's worth the price of admission alone, especially when he's played in his right position, as he was on Sunday when he scored 2 cracking goals against Everton. I love Manuel Lanzini so much that I'm genuinely thinking of getting a tattoo of Manuel Lanzini's face on my face. It won't take up much room, about that much, because even in life scale, his face is much, much smaller. Mine, he's only Diddy. And finally, of course, we are going to have 5 managers that could replace David Moyes. Now, I feel for David Moyes at this point. I really do feel sorry for David Moyes now that I no longer have to watch his team play football, because he was brought in to do a job, he's brought in to keep us up, and he's done that. I mean, we finished 13th at the end of the day, and I don't think we would have gone down under Bilic, but I think it would have been much, much closer. But, you know, he's done the job he was brought in to do. And if he is here next season, I really hope the board have backed him, and I will. Regardless of the fact I'm not a fan of his, particularly if he is here, I will still back him and I will support him until it goes horribly wrong, or unless he does really well in that case, hurrah. But whoever's in, the board have got to back him. They've got to start spending some money. They really, really need to now, and let's hope they do that. Personally, though, I would like somebody to manage the club who is slightly less dinosaur-y, if you know what I mean. I'm thinking, I don't know if these people are free or whatever, but on my hit list I would have Rafa Benitez, Slavia Jokanovic, got your name right, and Marco Silva would be the people I'd like to see brought in. But you know what, if it's Moyes would be 4th out of that. And do you know what I mean? I'm not like, I've got a list of 40 and Moyes at the bottom of it. I'd take him 4th of those if you can't get them. Or maybe someone better. Well, I'm contradicting myself, aren't I? But this is the end of the season, folks, and there's nothing like looking back at your own predictions at the beginning of the season and see how many you got right. So I'm going to refer to my notes here. I predicted Manchester United to win the Premier League and Manchester City to come second, and I also predicted relegation for Huddersfield, Swansea, and brace yourself, Burnley. Okay, I've got one right, and the law of averages meant that I was going to get one of those things right. Do you know what I mean? And so I'm here, but especially the Burnley one demonstrates how little I know about football. Nothing, apart from West Ham, because I did predict them to finish 13th in the league. One other thing I wanted to bring up before we move on to your lovely questions and comments is Wissa. I think this has been the season where the West Ham Independent Sports Association, WUSA as they're known, have come to the fore. They started the season with about 1,000 members and now got 4,000. And I really hope that grows. They are becoming the salient voice of West Ham fans. If you've not joined, I urge you to do so. I'll put a link in below. They do some great stuff, and I really think they're moving forward in the right direction. Anyway, on to your letters. Well, no one writes letters now, do they? But you know, messages you've left here. You've got the idea. Let's go and have a look what you've had to say. Thanks so much, guys, for all of your questions and messages you send me, not just this week, but through the season. It's been a big part of the show, and I'm glad you guys enjoy me reading them out and ask lots of questions, and it's fab. I love reading them, and I love answering as many as I can. And you can leave a message below if you've got anything to comment on the show, and you can you can tweet me at WHU Mike, that's my Twitter handle, or find me on Facebook, I'm Mike Manera. And before we do go on with that though, I was just going to add, because a lot of people have asked me, am I going to be doing these shows during the close season? Yeah. Unless you really want me to stop in that case, let me know. But no, I will. I might not be doing it weekly because not much might happen for a few weeks, but I will try and do it fortnightly, or if nothing at all has happened on the 3rd week. But having said that, if I do one show in the same week we signed Yaya Toure and appointed Genghis Khan as manager, I will do one the following week. Yeah, it's in whether there's stuff to talk about, do you know what I mean? Because I've got a feeling for the next couple of weeks everyone's going to go on holiday and that'll be it. So yeah, I'll definitely be around though. I might do some stuff in the World Cup. Let's see if anything daft happens, because that's my speciality. So on to this week. And one last thing I wanted to add as well. Big hello to all the lovely people who I met at the ground on Saturday. Now, at one point, Gio attempted to start a conga by coming up to us as we were on the upper tier and dragging us down to the lower tier to start a conga, which no one wanted to know anything about. Sorry, mate, no one was going to do the conga during the game. But what I did find myself was in the lower tier with lots of people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, I love your show," and we watch it every week. A big hello to all you people who came and said hi to me. Lovely to meet you, and lovely to meet all West Ham fans forever. And if you do see me wandering down the street one day and you go, "Oh, it's Mike Michael," do say I'm generally a friendly and approachable guy, and it's always lovely to meet fellow Hammers. So, and a big thank you to all you guys for watching this show all season. Shall I get on with the letters now? Good, letters. I always call it letters, messages. Right, here we go. Tim Julian, good one, Tim. Why do you put so much emphasis on the manager? Why don't you blame the players? Nice one. Of course it's the players, isn't it? They're the ones running around, kicking the ball into the net or letting it into our net. Of course it's the players. To a point. But managers are crucial. To start with, you've got the famed thing about motivating people. Now, you think, oh, they're professional athletes, why would they need motivating? They're footballers, and you're right. But on the other hand, these people at Premier League level are all multi-millionaires who are being asked to chase a spherical object around a pitch while colliding heavily into other multi-millionaires, and that probably does take a little bit of man management once you're a multi-millionaire to get you motivated to play against other multi-millionaires. You get my point. But more than that, there's two crucial roles managers play. The first is, when you say it's all about the players, it's which players are in the team, and that is all to do with the manager, not just signing them, but which one's being selected each week. Of course, the players are essential. If you look, it's uncanny how similar the league table at the end of the season is to a net wage spend. It's very, very closely aligned. But I mean, you know, you only have to look at what happened at West Brom once Pardew went and Darren Moore took over, and so they almost managed a miraculous escape. If they'd made that change a month earlier, I fancy West Brom would have got out of trouble, and probably sent Southampton down. Mind you, that managerial change had an impact as well, even though it was old Sparky Hughes who had already taken Stoke down. So it goes to show that they are essentially an essential part of the ingredient. And there are a lot of people who reckon we should be spending big money on a manager rather than players. And I think it's a question of balance here. So of course the players are essential, but managers are a big part of it as well. And we can all talk about players and which players should be playing, which players should be sold, which players should be kept. But managers have really got rough because they are one focal point. And I think that's why they get talked about the most, as opposed to the 11 in the team plus substitutes and blah. So that's why I think we focus on the manager a lot, Tim. I hope that answers the question. Some of you are going to disagree with this, but leave comments below because I will be back. Well, I'm definitely going to be back next week, so I'm going to do a review of the season. When I say review of the season, I'm just going to have a quick roundup with my daftest bits. Not old clips or anything. I just want to have a look at the season as a whole, as a whole thing, as a whole thing. Can't you say that again? Yeah, all of it. The whole. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Mike Stringer, why did we sign Hugill and when will we see him? We won't. I think it's accepted that we signed in a double negative move Hugill in the winter transfer window as insurance against getting relegated. The thinking of the board was that they will sign one of the Championship's best strikers, and if we get relegated, we've already got him in place for next season. That's wrong on two massive levels, isn't it? Number one, how bleak and pessimistic is that? I mean, plan ahead, but that is ridiculous. Hedging your bets on relegation is as daft can be. And number two, more importantly, he isn't one of the best strikers in the Championship. Preston fans, it was hilarious we spent so much money on him. He'd scored 9 goals in 27 games. There are way better players, strikers in there. The lad at Bristol City used to be a midfielder who turned into a really good striker. Kyle, I think he is the top scorer at Derby. I mean, you know, there's a number of good strikers in the Championship we could have gone for. He isn't one of them. So I hope that answers your question. I don't think we're going to see him because I would be shocked if he's there at the start of the season. I actually don't think anyone's going to buy him. There's a board of saying sensible offers. What, 80p? Maybe have him around, do some washing up or something for that. But I think he'll end up on loan somewhere in the Championship. So well done, Jordan Hugill. I hope you enjoyed your amount of fun. With nothing against you, mate. You took your chance. Why wouldn't you playing in the Premier League? And I think you got about 8 minutes cumulatively. So, I bet you got a sign-on bonus, I'm sure you're all right. So, he seems like a nice guy. But he ain't going to play for us, is he? Good. Moving on. Peter Hoskins from Melbourne, Australia. Now, long one this. He watches Gonzo's vlogs, and there's probably going to be one for this weekend, but he was really quite drunk, so I have no idea what it's going to look like. And he watches them, and I'm often sat next to Gonzo and in them. Here's his question. He's replying to me and him in those vlogs. Watched it a few times and wondered why you don't wear team colours when you're doing the shows. I don't wear team colours generally because I am what's known as a poser, and I just like looking weird, and the idea of a uniform is quite terrifying for me. Having said that, I have got quite a lot of shirts and I have worn them to games, and there's another reason that is the honest truth. The last time I wore team colours was on the first home game of the 15-16 season at home to Leicester at Upton Park. Remember that beautiful old place? Where I turned up in a retro 70s West Ham shirt and we lost. And we've lost every time I've worn team colours. And while I know, don't believe in religion or any of that stuff, and I'm not superstitious, if I wear team colours we will lose. I've just got that in my head, so that's another good reason not to. That and the fact I'm an out and out poser. So I hope that answers the question. It's not out of luck at all. I've always got a badge. I've got a lucky badge which I often wear. Doesn't seem to affect the result, so I wear it anyway. And I've got a tattoo as well, so you can't say I'm not hammered up, do you know what I mean? It's but yeah, that's why. Gonzo quite often wears colours, though. He's quite often got a jacket, West Ham jacket or tracksuit and stuff on, so he does, you know. And what's going to say, oh yeah, and finally, Ryan B asked, we used to be in shows in the summer, covered that, nice one Ryan, and thanks for all your Ryan B, not Ryan A or Ryan C or Ryan D or Ryan E, you got the idea, and thanks so much for your numerous contributions as well this season. So next week I'll be back with a roundup of some favourite bits from the season from me I want to talk about, and I will be and after that I will be doing stuff in the summer. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the show. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If you've not, don't. And you've got any questions and comments, do leave them below. Don't forget to tell all your friends about Mike on Monday. Get them all watching. I'm only meant to mention this now. Season's over, and no one's going to be that bothered, are they, to start next season? Never mind. And I will. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to both Hammers Chat channels. They are genuinely lovely people who do the Hammers Chat, and they do great work, not just online. They've got really wicked forum which I recommend checking out, and where you can book or go onto the boats before games and after games, and don't forget the blogs which are there as well, and I'll put a few other links below. Do check out Kennington Lens work because it is genius. And until next week, I look forward to seeing you then, guys. Have a great week, and well done West Ham finishing 13th. I think that's a little better than we all thought it was going to be for most of the season, and come on you Irons. Take care, folks.
Mike on Monday, Mike on Monday, Mike on Monday.